Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the editor personality of the best hair. And this has been a long time coming, hasn't it? Episodes 8 and 9 of the first season of this here movie review show were for Jeepers Creepers and Jeepers Creepers 2, respectively. The second review ended on a joke about me being glad after 2 there was no 3, but the word around the web being that it was in fact coming soon. Which turned out to be not quite as accurate as I would have liked. Oh, it came, eventually, just several years after the time frame I gave in the review, which was what they were saying at the time, so I got a few years worth of comments about how wrong that was. Either way, we finally got Jeepers Creepers 3 in 2017, and it's not exactly the continuation I was expecting. We got an in-between-quel, as the events of Jeepers Creepers 3 start right after Jeepers Creepers 1 and conclude shortly before the beginning of Jeepers Creepers 2. The Creeper is hunting people down for spare parts to eat, but a small band of Creeper hunters think they just might be able to stop it once and for all. Which they obviously failed to do. It's really hard to get excited for that kind of plotline when you already know the outcome, but anyway, let's take a look at Jeepers Creepers 3 and see if they at least bring some surprises to it. Well, perhaps all over the place quel would be more apt, as the story actually opens 23 years before the events of the original movie. A man with a machete is running for his life, away from the Creeper. Don't worry, he thinks running out into the middle of the road, waving his Voorhees toy around and screaming is sure to get people to stop to help. Strangely nice of you to actually stop for him, but, you know, after the winged monster flies off into the air with him, it is okay to just keep driving away at that point. Being especially idiotic, the man gets out of his car to see what's the problem with the guy with the machete that just fell out of the sky because he's pretty fucking dead.
Every 23rd year, for 23 days, it gets to eat.
Eat that booty like groceries! We then skip ahead 23 years later and what happened after the Creeper escaped the prison with Derry. Seems he left his car, and as the place was surrounded by police, they thought, hey, let's investigate that suspicious-looking death machine filled with cadavers the monster motherfucker drove up here with. What's the worst that could possibly happen?
Those are for sewing. I don't want to know for what.
Oof, you know you're in for a bad time when the thing's got spikes hidden in the roof and the bumper far longer than it should be physically possible to conceal. Sergeant Davis Tubbs, still played by Brandon Smith, has a plan.
Get that goddamn thing in the impound!
Thank fuck that's not actually the excuse they go for why the car isn't in Jeepers Creepers 2. Would have been an especially hard sell, considering the truck continues to have a mind of its own and be very dangerous to everyone around it. This calls for the cavalry to arrive. Sheriff Denny Tashtego, played by Stan Shaw. He's what happens when you want Creighton Duke in your movie, but realize Stephen Williams is about 3 years older than your idea of perfect. Either way, Davis tells him they lost some officers and inmates already.
And then the kid.
The one he flew off with.
Name of Jerry.
His name was Derry Jenner.
Ha! Because Derry's a weird name. Isn't that right, Mr. Tashtego?
His sister's a train wreck. She's inside waiting for her folks. They're driving in from Stillwater.
Where's the last place you saw it?
Even the car's like, fuck this boring, talky shit, let's get to the action! So yeah, the Creeper Jeeper has pretty much been given a Batmobile overhaul. All the Spear managed to snag was the sheriff's hat, though, so they're fine. Up until they go closer to the prison's damage, that is, and the Creeper's car, just out of frame, is towed away for the impound, and they can't contact the tow truck on the radio! Danny says that's no good, and they have to stop them! Which raises a few questions from Davis.
You tell me how the hell you know about any of this? Cause what happened here happened before.
That's why there's a goddamn 3 in the title!
That truck is that thing's rolling history. Which is why we get it in the impound and tear it apart. It ain't gonna make it to impound.
It ain't just a damn Creeper out there! Truckosaurus Rex is on the loose! Either that, or along with his sense of smell and power of flight, the Creeper is equipped with a 6th sense to know when someone's trying to jack his shit. It also helps that he got his axe back from the first movie. But more impressively, he's actually played by the same actor who played him in 1 and 2, Jonathan Breck. The Creeper truck surfs his way to freedom! But he also just so happened to smell something he liked, so swings back around to grab a bite to eat. the Creeper's personality is more comical than he was in the first movie, but not the straight-up Freddy Krueger wannabe we got in Jeepers Creepers 2. And the people are just as dumb, not even trying to shoot the beast as it flies off with dinner. Yeah, that wouldn't work, but it's better than just watching your friends get eaten and doing nothing about it like you're giving an emotional speech in Attack on Titan. Or running after the truck driving away with him. I mean, your car's right behind you, but yeah, sure, run after the motor vehicle, get your cardio in for the day. However, we're in for something even more horrifying. Oh, Jesus, fuck! It's as if the asylum was around to try and rip off Alfred Hitchcock. This is the way the Ravens are going, and somehow it means it's where the Creeper goes to, because being predictable makes him extra scary. Either way, Galen Brandon, played by Meg Foster, spies her son Kenny on the hill, played by Jordan Salawam. You know, the guy from the opening driving the car.
It hurts too much seeing you like this.
Mom, just listen, okay? Time's up. It's coming back, just like I said.
Evidently, he's a ghost. Yep, they killed Kenny. That's not the bad part, though. The Creeper's coming back. Yeah, he does that every 23 years, but Kenny says he's coming specifically here, because there just so happens to be a part of the creature kicking about. Galen isn't happy about this, but arguing with the ghost of her dead son doesn't leave her looking particularly sane.
Kenny, are you listening to yourself? Are you listening to yourself? How are we supposed to do that?
It's either that or she really fucking hates the Lorax. As we see, Galen lives with her granddaughter, Addison, played by Gabriel Haw. Sure, the Creeper is coming, and Kenny says leave right now or you will die, but, you know, they have lots of bills to pay and, like, no fucking income. And Addison keeps spending all they do have to feed that damn horse. Galen thinks maybe just pawn the damn thing?
I already told you I'm not selling Rocket, Grandma. Selling him would be like giving away my own child.
Because her mother dumped her here instead of ditching her new boyfriend. There's a monster in this movie, right? At least the sheriff is getting ready to go to war with the Creeper. Though he's got enough drama to deal with on his side. Davis might want to stop it, but, you know, unspeakably awful, indescribable horrors are kinda scary, and he's getting cold feet about the whole hunt it down and send it back to hell plan. Not to worry, the cavalry has arrived with a motherfucking Gatling gun!
She's amped up to shoot 20mm rounds. 6,000 rounds a minute.
You test this thing?
Probably not. They came with ammo cans full of 50 BMG, not 20 mil.
Is this thing tested?
This thing throws up a wall of fire. A wall of fire that nothing from this world or the next can get through.
So no then. Great. I'm sure your firewall will come in very handy during the climax when it jams on the first fucking cartridge. Oh well, back on trying to get by in a free-to-play game without buying premium crystals, Addison drives over to her neighbor, Gracie Mathers, played by Meg Wright, to beg for some hay. While there, we meet Douchey McDoucheface Kirk, played by Ryan Moore.
You know you got a rabbit in the trap?
That's what it's there for.
So it's suffering, you're just gonna leave it in there?
Torturing small animals is one of the few joys I have in life. Next time, don't let Mom take away my Pokemon. Soon, Gracie's mother, Beth, comes out, played by Carrie Lazar. They echo the sentiment that Kirk should let the rabbit go, but he's too much of an insufferable asshole to care.
Just let it go and stop trapping them, okay?
You're all a bunch of women.
Checkmate? Even better, there was never any hay here in the first place, so Addison has to go to town and buy it anyway. On the bright side, Ass Clown and friends go dirt biking through the woods, and end up finding something pretty interesting out there. Horrible, painful death! Well, at least I'm looking forward to it.
Beating you? Be eating you, and no fucking way.
Right. No way. That story's bullshit.
You already heard about the kid who got straight fucking murdered by a monster in his monster truck yesterday, and you already don't believe it?
At least one idiot every Halloween makes a license plate that says that.
Oh no, it's just, evidently it's a very old story that's been woven into the culture of this region, and just yesterday, during the events of Jeepers Creepers 1, everyone fucking forgot except the fortune teller. No matter the case, they figure there's no good reason to come all this way and not enjoy a few random acts of vandalism.
Kiss my ass, you ugly old bitch!
Which, thanks to the opening, when we saw the police couldn't do jack with this, we already know how well this is gonna go. Like the police, they do get a peek inside, but it's not like there's going to be much raiding and theft of the stockpile of cadavers anyway. Okay, now all we need is a little spear launcher and we'll see everything we already did in the opening anyway. Oh no, not douchebag! Man, who would have guessed that he would end up getting killed in this horror movie? The terrors just keep coming as after he is hooked, we jump over to Addison and her trying to get some hay from Buddy Hooks, played by Chester Rushing. One slight problem, though.
You're not on the load list. Uh-oh.
That's like rolling up to the drive-thru window without bothering to stop at the menu. So she still has no hay to feed the horse, only sadness and judgment from all around, as she continues to drive around trying to find some way to get some food for Rocket. Buddy's dad, though, Cal, played by Jason Bale, has no intention of letting his son give her free hay so her horse won't starve to death, after all.
You can do better.
So, having standards is bad? I mean, your son's no prize either. Screw you, Daddy, he's gonna feed the horse if it kills him! Which speeding down the wrong side of the road might do anyway, but fuck it. If we want to see someone get killed, let's go back to the douchey gang, where Kirk is still trapped by the Creeper's scorpion spear. When the kids have a choice between help him escape or run like holy fuck from the demonic monster-looking motherfucker who just came out of the sky, they choose the latter. Gotta love a villain who not only kills assholes, but humiliates them to boot. So the spear went through them in that order, and, what do you know? Black Guy died first. Enough of what I'm actually watching this for, though. It's time to go back to adventures in horse feeding. Rocket will have hay to eat, and Buddy continues awkwardly trying to get into Addison's pants.
I mean, I gotta get the rest of this stuff up to Bernardi's. You ever been up there? It's really something. I mean, only if you want to.
I'd love to.
Just not with you. Could you drop me off and then pretend you don't know me? As the story continues to bounce around various different plot threads, we don't see them drive up just yet. First, we watch Grandma continue to scream at her dead son as she digs that piece of the creature he claims to have buried here 20 years ago. And that's back with the Creeper, who has just now noticed what the one teen who got away left on his bumper. Well, you know what they say, Creeper. It's better to be pissed off than pissed on. Doesn't really apply here. So the last guy who had an actual chance to escape the wrath of the monster? Nope, he dies just the same. In the meantime, Grandma dug up a handy-dandy hand! The very digits that fell from the sky in the opening that were kept by her son and hidden away, which is what cost him his life. So let's touch it. Top hand-holding action! Thing lifts her right off the ground because screw the laws of physics, we gotta put you in some crazy trance for this. Then ignore that for now because we gotta check on the kids. It seems that last delivery Buddy was heading for was actually visited earlier today by the Creeper. They also seem to think that it can't figure out where they are if they hide under things and pretend that it's as stupid as they are. No bother, Buddy can just drive the fuck away.
Come on!
Should have known. Okay, so he can't just drive away. Jesus, I've seen so many horror movies. If I ever actually have car trouble, I'm gonna have an anxiety attack. Somebody calls the guy under the car trying to figure out what it is they're hiding from anyway.
I dropped him out there somewhere.
So, the Creeper just run up to guys and throw buckets of blood on them? Either way, the hide under stuff strategy doesn't seem to work, just like the hide in the car from the thing that can smell you through the closed windows anyway. However, Billy isn't what the creature is interested in. Which actually did get a chuckle out of me. At least it's not as bad as the get in line to have the Creeper judge you all one by one from Jeepers Creepers 2. Since all the Creeper has to get past to get what it wants is Buddy, obviously Addison is captured and carried off without much resistance at all. That way we can teleport back to the police who are meeting up with her grandmother. Seems Galen survived the Creeper 23 years ago and thus was on Danny's radar for those he can count on to try to stop it today. Of course, she just came back from that supernatural bender of crazy-ass psychic visions the hand gave her when she touched it. It was so strong it left her own hand very injured. But it's cool, she's got it trapped under a small clay pot now. Oh, I guess he'd prefer an investigation that's a little more hands-off, eh? He's not the only one bad at his job. The filmmakers decided to just park the truck out of frame, throw some dust up, then pretend like the truck just came barrel-assing in and crashed there. Well, maybe it wasn't supposed to crash, but that's the sound effect they used. Also, the creeper himself can't do his job right. As it turns out, it's not just one, but two of his rat bodies that are actually still alive. Unsurprisingly, those turn out to be Addison and Douchebag McGee, two who are also very bad at escaping without getting caught. Kirk knows the truck is booby-trapped to hell, so they brainstorm as to how to get out without getting killed.
Chain. Should I try that?
Try what?
I don't know, maybe it does something.
Hey! Hey, creeper! Hey, we're trying to escape! Bitch. And yes, it is possible to be even dumber. Next thing you know, Addison's just gonna grab a dagger and dig into her own torso because, hey, that might be a way out of the truck! First comes the moping, though, because this thing kills you like a classic Sierra game. Oh well, we take a short break to see all the crew has come together to watch Danny play patty cake with the ancient unknowable evil, and then it's back to Addison trying to poke her way out, up until she hears the creeper coming. I love how he's just like, hold the fuck up, I didn't leave that there. At least the dead jackass is the perfect cover for Addison. It explains why a few things are out of place, and the horn honking, without the creeper needing to assume any other of his harvest, is still kicking and needs to be disposed of. Either way, Danny's back from his trip into the Creeper prequel, and the hand unlocks the secrets of what exactly it is, where it came from, and how long it has tormented mankind. Not that he feels like sharing any of that just yet, and besides, they get a call in that they found the vehicle of another likely victim, so the team moves out to intercept the beast and take it down.
I just saw you rolling around on the ground like you were having a brain scramble. I can drive, Danny. Danny!
Fuck the psychic convulsions, that man just downed half a bottle of whiskey, that's reason enough not to let him drive. Ah, fuck it, let him drive anyway. This does give us a chance to hear some new information about the creeper, at least a few adjectives that apply to it.
It's ancient.
As in? Because, I mean, the two of you ain't exactly spring chickens. Hope you like that kind of depth, because that's all you're gonna get! They find the creeper's truck and prepare to attack.
You still a sharpshooter?
You always know just what to say, Danny. It seems shooting the truck is a fool's errand. Between the body being bulletproof, the tires being bulletproof, and the fact that all the bullets ricochet away, it's at least a waste of ammo and at most needlessly dangerous. Therefore, let's have our friends with the Gatling gun come up on the truck from the other side, being unable to hear the calls on the radio to not shoot at the truck, and unload on that thing like nobody's business. Yeesh, those are some pretty crap CGI effects. The broken glass looked worse than most video games. The shots on the body weren't bad, but the extra one on the face with no exerted force just killed the whole thing. But it gets even worse. Fucking hell, I honestly think I've seen better CGI out of the asylum. Why? Oh well, this does lead to a badass showdown between the police and the creeper. As expected, shooting the creature does fuck all, but little bone and skin ninja stars, those work wonders. Danny figures now that it's out of the truck, the Gatling gun just might work. Of course, it does help that this is one of those games where time slows down when you're aiming. This wall of fire isn't quite enough to stop the creature, though, who tackles Danny. Soon enough, it becomes obvious the creeper survived this assault. And Danny? Holy shit, the creeper is Kratos. There's still that loose end about Addison being left alive, though, so the creeper finally figures out, oh yeah, this lady that's been lying here in my truck for how long is actually still breathing. Also, it's about time he forgets about his own booby traps, which gives her a chance to escape. That, and it goes to reason that having your brain impaled and losing an eye isn't the best for your coordination. This means despite Addison's insistence on tripping over nothing and stopping to see what it is her pursuer is up to, all the creeper manages to do is rip her jacket off and then get hit by a truck. Oh well, no reason to chase her down anymore. I guess. Well, he goes off to find his hand, only to find a note saying they know what he is. I mean, we still don't know, but they do. Therefore, ending? The creeper destroys his old hand while Buddy manages to find Addison running alongside the road. Their future prospects are about as good as they can be, considering Buddy's hopping into the magic school bus from Jeepers Creepers 2. Oh well, the movie can end 23 years later on a monologue, as this was all actually a personal note memoir story thing written by Derry's sister, Trisha Jenner, played again by Gina Phillips.
So? Come and get me, you son of a bitch.
So is the creeper a fan of her writing? Anyway, that was Jeepers Creepers 3, and it's actually not as bad as people make it out to be. The general consensus of this movie is that it's absolutely abhorrent in just about every way possible, and I'm gonna have to disagree with that. This can't hold a candle to the creativity and fright of the original Jeepers Creepers, but at the very least, it's a better flick than Jeepers Creepers 2, in my opinion. One oddity is the fact that a great many scenes of this horror movie take place during the day. That's not really a bad thing, as the creeper doesn't really sneak around. He's an unstoppable killer. It doesn't matter if you can see him or not, you aren't getting away and he's not gonna be stopped. The problems come with the CGI on display, which was less impressive than the effects used in Jeepers Creepers 2, 14 years prior. Also, the characters are not all that interesting. The sheriff has a backstory, but we never get into much detail about that. Grandma's got a hell of a backstory, but she gives that only a little more screen time. Most of the time is spent with Addison and Buddy, both of whom are pretty damn boring and basic. I feel like the story could have gone twice as far with half the characters and more time spent understanding who they were. Either way, the creeper this time around is possibly my favorite version of the guy. Maybe not quite as interesting as the first movie with the preserved human remains stitched together in a macabre mosaic, but fun without being a goddamn cartoon character like in the second movie. Well, mostly. At the end of the day, Jeepers Creepers 3 is a horror movie where we already know what happens before and after, and has very little reason to exist. The effects are crap, but the acting is okay and the cinematography looks good. However, the very lackluster ending and pretty sparse plot hold it back the most, dooming it to be being, at best, forgettable, coming in at 2 Institute Ravens out of 5. If anything, I feel like this movie was made to get Jeepers Creepers on people's minds again, so they can put the real continuation into Jeepers Creepers 4, which I don't think is going to be greenlit after the reception of this one, so that's a great plan. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I've been Decker Shado, and remember, before you go poking around, have the rogue check for traps. That way only he has to roll up a new character.
Jeepers Creepers. What?